Hello guys, and welcome to part 12 of this mini Jeep build. And this episode is going to be a bit longer because I have promised you guys a test drive of the mini Jeep. So just sit back and enjoy the build. Alright, since I'm finished with the exhaust now, I'm going to add the few remaining clamps that I were missing. I have bought some new ones. I'm going to clamp the fuel tube and the brake tube a little better. And I will see on how I'm going to lay the cables from the engine to the back. I need to figure something out there before I'm putting the body back on the frame, and I'm going to turn some mounts for these ones that I have to do. So yeah, let's start with the clamps. The plan I have with the electrical wires was to put them through this protecting tube. I also bought the same clamps as I used for the fuel line and the brake line, but in a little bit bigger version to clamp these two. Alright, so I need to think a little more about the electrical wiring. So I'm going to make the mount for the gas reservoir for the shocks. So 750. now it's very tight inside here, so it's going to be held in place just by the press. And now I'm going to put it in the milling machine, make a flat surface here with 2 holes. And I need to find some way to chamfer the hole from the inside. Maybe drill holes all the way through and put the chamfer tool all the way through to make 2 bolts go flush inside here. So I'm just going to make the flat surface and make the 2 holes and then take it from there. Alright, so my plan is to use 2 of these. As you can see, we need to make the head vanish inside the material here. So I'm going to take a drill that has the same diameter as the head of this screw and go from the hole of the top here and down and barely touch it until the head is fitting down like this. And then I can put the screws through here with an umbilical and bolt it to the frame. See, we can put the bolts and it's going inside. So I have decided to mount them here and here. So let's go. The rear lights and gas tank are inside, so let's install this shit. wait any longer. I need to put the body back on the chassis, and the wires are laying here along with the frame. I know this one is going to come in conflict with the filler tube, so I may have to modify it a bit, but it's just aluminium and nothing is painted, so that's not a big deal. I'm just going to put the body back on the frame without bolting it down, because I most likely need to lift it up again to adjust something or lay some cables, or yeah. But now I'm going to see if I can get it back on the chassis on my own. So let's go. Place, and yeah, this is really nice. And then there's another thing I can't wait to mount on this Jeep, and that's the headlights. Alright, so today I received something I have been waiting for a long time for. That's the front windshield. So now it's glass in the windshield. It turned out great. And one thing I'm a bit worried about, it was a bit heavier than I thought. So we'll see if this mount is gonna hold up, or I'm just gonna make a rod like this go down to the dashboard in the middle here. I don't see any other option, but we'll see when I get it on the Jeep. But first now, I'm going to mount a streamer here. So let's go. This tape that is going to place the letters, so I'm just gonna leave it for now and put the windshield on the Jeep. It turned out much better than I was planning. But now I need to get rid of this tape on the back side of the streamer here. I did clean the windshield before I add the sticker, of course. but it seems like the letters that I want to, it's going to stay on the window is just letting off, so I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so I'm going to take the body off one final time. I need 2 more mounts for the electrical wires and the brake hose. And I need to wrap the exhaust that is going inside the gearbox tunnel here. I need to wrap it with some heat shielding wrap, so my paint here don't bubble and dies. So let's lift it off one final time and fix those things, and then I can start putting in the steering, the gas pedal, hook everything up. So let's go. So not the nicest wrapping I have seen, but I don't want to lay any more work into this. They're not gonna be shown either way, and it's real nasty to work with because it's glass fiber in this shit. So I'm just gonna put it into the Jeep again. Back on the frame, and I think I'm just going to bolt it down this time, and hopefully I will not need to take it off more times. So let's go. Guys wondering why I haven't welded this before I painted, that's because it was so much easier just to slide this one in, take it out when I was disassembling and assembling all the time to make things fit, instead of losing the steering box. So and when I was ready to paint, I didn't know the exactly length of this thing, and then I need to mount the body on the chassis just to make these measurements. So I decided just to do it now and spray some paint on the middle there, and we're good to go. for a while now. Alright, so it's time to put the steering back in, and this shaft was hitting the brake light switch underneath the dashboard when I was using the bolts that was intended to be on this these joints. So I've just mounted one of these brake hose with the counter, what it's called, and I put some helicoil inside here because there was not any threads here. It was a bolt with a nut here and it was building too much, so I came up with this flap. So let's try to mount it. I have never tried to mount the steering axle with a bolt before, but this shaft doesn't get the place for a bolt, so I need to grind a little spacer for the bolt, and then I should be able to mount it again. The steering feels very rigid. It's quite easy to steer actually. Alright, now I'm about to take off the wheel, remove one of the shocks, and try to put the gas tank back up again. And because of this one, I need to make some slightly modifications to the feeler neck on the gas tank, so let's see how much we need to modify. So that was a waste of worry, because it didn't touch. It was passing clearly perfectly underneath. So as you can see, I have to adjust the length of the bars here I need to loosen one of this and yeah, adjust the length to get the wheels a little bit further forward to get the maximal flex, but I either way can take the measure of the shock now. I'll need to make something here, a spacer or a rod I put in the lathe, and just drill a hole and cut it in half and put on each side of this. And we'll see what I will come up with, but something like that. And the flex is very good. Now the question is, what do I do with these ones to make them go over the shaft, because I can't really disassemble the shock, and I don't know if it's able to put this over the rod in the shock if I'm disassembling them either way. So I was thinking about cutting this one in half and maybe drill some bolts in here to make them hold together. I don't know. I really want something easy now. I'm thinking about just marking it up, chop it in two, just use the angle grinder and split it in half and make them over the shocks. Disassemble the shocks from the Jeep, take it over to the vise, put the two pieces in the vise with the shock through, and just add some spot welds with the TIG, because I don't ever need to disassemble this from the shocks. I just think I'm gonna go for that. So I used the angle grinder, and now I'm going to clamp them together with the shock inside over here and TIG it together, and let's see how that works out. If the shocks is gonna explode in the face on me, or it's going to be great. Let's see. Worked well. Then the shocks are back and installed. And I'm going to adjust the spring tensioner here, the same on both sides, and then the shocks are installed. the starter is correctly wired. So let's go. Ah, yeah! So I did just welded these two fittings together and added a little rubber piece under here, which is getting smashed when you tighten this bolt. And then I will just run a hose, regular hose, outside of the gas tank. So that's the breather of the gas tank, and this is a one-way valve. So that shouldn't be any problem. And I have added a connector here. It's gonna just hang outside like that when I'm putting the tank inside the Jeep. And I'm ready to put the tank in the Jeep. And as you guys might can see, there's a little wet in the corners of the body. That's because I've added some fluid film to all the edges and places where the paint doesn't penetrate into. So it's just for making sure this little Jeep never is gonna rust away. But now let's install the gas tank. The only thing that remains is to hook up the fuel gauge sensor, but in theory I can fill the gas tank now and try to start the engine, and I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm pouring gasoline at full speed. I'm not holding anything. I'm not pouring extra slowly or something. Just normally, and it seems to work. Didn't spill a drop. Let's see if she will start. I need to crank for a while to pump gas from the back of the Jeep to the front. Alright, so on my ampere gauge, it doesn't seem like the engine is charging any electrical power. So that is something I need to take a closer look at. But now I think I'm just gonna put on the rear tires, put it down and see if it will move forward and backwards. So let's do that. It seemed to work fine with the gears and everything, but I can tell already that it's too high in the low range. So I need to order a low range gearing kit for the transfer case and swap out the transfer case. I have always had that in mind, but yeah, it works really fine, and the clutch was just perfect. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and the engine seems to be strong, so can't wait to really test it. Of course I can't wait, I need to test it a little bit outside before I'm calling it a night. So let's try. was easy. And there is nothing obviously wrong with the diff, so I need to take it apart and see. And if I can't find out what's causing the wheels to not turn, I'm just throwing in the original diff, and I will drive it with the 2 open diff till I eventually buy another locker or something. Nothing is broken, but something is definitely not right, so here we need to wash the parts and take a look at some YouTube videos, I think. Alright, so now I have decided to put in the original differential and buy another locker another time, because this shit is going to make a lot of noise and I don't want it. Alright, so the rear differential is in place again, and I'm going to take it outside just to wash off all the mud from the little test drive the other night here, and then I'm going to drive it inside again and continue building the seats. So I may do a little flex test outside here, I don't know. Since I'm going to wash it anyway, I need to take a little flex test. And as you guys can see, it's running way too fast in low range, so I have already ordered 6.5 to 1 low range kick from low range off-road, so it's on its way. I can't really use this in off-road conditions without lower gearing, so that is going to be one of the next modifications. That is just to drop the transfer case, rebuild it, put it inside, no fabrication, so that is going to be nice. Alright guys, that was all for part 12 of this mini Jeep build. I'm sure a lot of you guys have hoped for some more testing of this Jeep. But in the next video I'm going to finish up the seats and change out the gearing in the transfer case. And then I'm going to take her out and do a lot more testing. So stay tuned guys, and until next time, take care.